Good afternoon, everyone. I am doing my final presentation on poverty and student achievement, which took place at a place of residency at North Oakland Community Charter School. Um, the introduction. The problem statement is the achievement gap is a widely debated term. It refers to the inequality of academic performance among students, and this is Barton 2003. Poverty has an unequivocal impact on student achievement in the public school system. My goal was to examine North Oakland Community Charter School, the board of directors, its leadership, along with the leadership of the principal, to address the academic success of the students, of the low SES students that attend the school. The purpose of this qualitative case study was to examine the leadership roles, strategies, other goals, policies of the board of directors at North Oakland Community Charter School, because they are the ones that are they're over the principal, and they are the one that implement various policies and procedures at the school. I'm going to go a little bit over briefly to discuss North Oakland's the history, the demographics, the mission statement, the 10 core principles, as well as the strategic plan that was implemented for 2015 to 2020. It was implemented last year, though. Well, in 2014, it was implemented. So the history, the school opened in the fall of 2000 with a one-room kindergarten class. By 2006, with the support of parents and other educators, they expanded the school to fifth grade. By 2010, the school began serving grades 6 through 8. And currently, Knox has a total of 230 students from the Oakland area, with the majority of the students that would normally attend living in Longfellow, I believe, and the Longfellow and the Linden Park neighborhood area. As of this school year, 2015-16, the school enrollment has 17.3% of its population are African American, 0.9% are Asian, 8.4% are Latino or Hispanic, 41.3% are white, 32% are two or more races. We have 22.3% that are socioeconomically disadvantaged. We have 7.1% of ELL learners, and then 12% students with disabilities. So the mission statement for North Oakland Community Charter School states as: North Oakland Community Charter School is a public school dedicated to helping children to become thoughtful, informed, and inquisitive citizens. North Oakland Community Charter School is a vibrant, diverse learning community driven by the respect of each child's own unique intelligence and history. That's really important to take that into consideration. The founders of the school came up with, well, not came up with, they developed 10 principles that anchor and guide our community. And the first one is respect for children and their learning. The second one is having high expectations of the children. The third one is a caring community of learners. The fourth core principle is valuing diversity. The fifth one is connections to the world. The sixth one is a commitment to equity. The family's contributions, respect for teachers and teaching. The ninth one is creativity, and then the last one is teaching for understanding. Those are the 10 core principles. So in 2014, the board of directors developed a strategic plan. This strategic plan was implemented for this school year, which began in 2015, and it's going to continue on to 2020. So it's a 5-year strategic plan. The first thing on the plan, one of the the most important things that they're focusing on the strategic plan is to eliminate the achievement gap that currently exists between African American, Latino, and the economically disadvantaged and their peers. They to develop and implement and support and sustain an RTI program, which is response to intervention. Full inclusion for special ed that provides increased resources for struggling students. And I'll speak a little bit more on that later on because we do have a support staff at the school that work directly with struggling students as well as special ed students. Another key focus on the strategic plan is to identify, implement, and effectively use assessment systems, including interim assessments and portfolios. We have our database system. It's called Illuminate, which we store all of our data and which we look over and keep. We focus on to see how the students are progressing in various areas. Another important part of the strategic plan is to support an equitable culture and the conditions that lead to excellence for all students. So for my theoretical framework, let me see, So I chose to do social constructivism as well as it was social constructivism. Oh, I'm going the wrong. I apologize. Give me a second. Yeah, oh boy. Oh yeah, my bad. Culturally responsive teaching. So let me go back a bit. To study the relationship of low SES / culturally diverse students and their academic achievement, I will draw on Vygotsky's 1978 social constructivist theory and cultural responsive teaching, and that's Gay 2010. I use the phrase culturally diverse students to refer to African American and Latino families who are also likely to live in poverty while their white peers don't. And that's Alter 2015. The gap between the student achievement of culturally diverse students and those of mainstream backgrounds is a cause of a growing concern, especially given that the school populations of students of color are growing, so, and that's Strickland and Asher, 2002. The first part of my framework builds on the idea that social constructivism offers implications for reshaping schooling in ways that correct the gap between student achievement and culturally diverse students. The first part of my framework, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. Okay. Oops. I have that on there twice. I apologize. Okay. So the argument is that moving from mainstream orientation to an orientation with diversity will help close the North Oakland Community Charter School achievement gap. So one of the major tenets of constructivism is the zone of proximal development, which is ZPD, which argues that with help from adults or other children who are more advanced, students can master concepts and ideas that they wouldn't be able to understand on their own. Vygotsky's theory sees the student teach. There's a relationship between the teacher and the student, working collaboratively, with the learning experience becoming reciprocal. And that's Flem 2000, Riddle 1999, and Miligaro 2001. Okay, so the second concept that I will be drawing from is culturally responsive teaching, This idea stresses the importance of educators learning from and respectfully relating to other cultural backgrounds, heritage, and traditions of others. And this is quoted from the Iris Center of Training Enhancements, 2009. The theory of culturally responsive teaching, Gay, 2010, page 10, emerged in the response to concerns for racial and ethnic inequities. Culturally responsive teaching focuses on the importance of culture in schooling, but does not focus on race or racism, as they were related to the historical patterns that existed um, during the school in the United States prior. A central tenet of culturally responsive teaching is that if teachers recognize, honor, and incorporate personal abilities of their students into their teaching, then their academic achievement will improve regardless of their socioeconomic status. All right, the literature review. Factors relating to poverty has been analyzed by educational researchers to explain why some students attain higher levels of academic achievement than others. A review of relevant literature related socioeconomic status will help stakeholders and researchers understand the linkages between poverty and student achievement in order to eradicate the wide achievement gap that currently exists and is separating the affluent students from the economically advantaged students. So, three areas that I focused on in my LET review was one is how poverty is measured. The link between poverty and education can be seen at all educational levels. From the earliest stage, pre-primary education, poor Americans have a disadvantage. Friedman, 2012, found that children of parents earning less than $15,000 a year have pre-primary enrollment rates about 20% lower. 20% lower than children of parents who earn more than $50,000 a year. Another thing that I focused on in the LIT review was race. Children of color are 4 times more likely than their white peers to be born into a poor family, and suffer a lifetime of consequences ranging from diminished academic standing to increased financial stress. And that is quoted, it's cited by Nitrillo and Palace, and that's 2000. Furthermore, African American children and Latino children, well, I shouldn't say children twice, but furthermore, African American and Latino children are more likely to live in poverty and are more likely to live in neighborhoods of concentrated poverty. And that's Garner, 2000. So the last thing that I focused on my, again, this is just a brief, synopsis of my lit review, but the last one is focused on socioeconomic status and school readiness. School readiness is developed long before the official start of the child's formal education. So this is prior to going to school. We're talking about their learning environments, how they were brought up, from the time they were born. Middle and upper class parents frequently enroll their children in daycare programs and offer curriculum that are geared towards preparing their children for success, future academic success. So the synthesis of the literature. Now we all know that poverty has an impact on student achievement, However, what I decided what I really wanted to do was focus at my school, because again, my school is a non-Title I school, and it's a 20